Pull up a chair by the campfire and welcome to another episode of the Solitude Tour. In this episode, Torvey and I are exploring the North Cascades of Washington State. We ventured throughout the North Cascade campground, hiked a few of the trails. We visited Gorge Creek, chased a few waterfalls, and drove down to Diablo Lake. I must say, the snow-capped mountain visages, the color of the water in this dam community, no pun intended. They dam up all the rivers. That's how they get their electricity. We even bought some best damn fudge from the Skagit General Store. And of course, Torvey got a pint of ice cream. Here's what we've collected over the last 4 days. Enjoy. I have to say that in the last episode, after it was cut, I had gotten a request from a good friend who lives in Seattle to come visit. Toby and I drove from a campsite to visit with him and his mom. It was a great visit. I was a little hesitant, a little anxious to go at first. Just people, even good friends, even family, I just have a high anxiety being around. But yeah, we sat and we talked for about 3 hours, and it was nice. It was refreshing. It felt good to vent a little, to talk to someone other than a therapist and Toby. But nothing compares to talks with Toby. So, one question I was asked was, in the 3 months of travel so far, what my favorite stay has been. And I really didn't have an answer up until this point. I didn't. Each place that we've stayed, not just Trace, Great Smokies, the Texas mountains and deserts, Roswell, the Grand Canyon, California, the Redwood Forest, starting to sound like a national song here. Anyway, it was every location had its special feature and likes and dislikes, temperature, weather, things really got no control over. But I didn't have any one favorites until now. I gotta say, the North Cascades has been very therapeutic. I was actually able to relax a couple nights and just hang out and not do anything. The walks with Torvey have been amazing on hiking trails. And yeah, it's put a little pep in my step. But still, meeting with the locals here in North Cascade has been nice, very pleasant, but the tourists are something else. And I try to rationalize it. I try not to personalize it. They're from out of state. They're here with their families. They're tourists. They're trying to see all the sights they can, and they're on a working schedule, and it's a fixed schedule, and they're racing all over the place on foot, in cars, and they are narcissistic about it. They don't care. They don't see anybody around them. They're just not conscious to their actions. If they are, God bless them. But yeah, those are the people I'm trying to avoid. The people who are self-absorbed, the selfishness. I can't take that anymore. That's the solitude tour. But it's having a paradoxical effect on me. The people I meet in the small towns that aren't the hustle bustle of the cities, it's a different culture. They're nice. they're honest, they're authentic. They're not pretending to be anything. They're just there. That's what I crave. That's what I'm looking for. Well, I've rambled enough. I hope you're enjoying these pictures and videos that we've taken. And here we go, round 2. Enjoy. that concludes this episode of the North Cascades. I hope you enjoyed the photos and videos that we were able to provide. We will be going to Alta Lake for 4 days, and from there we will travel north through mountain scenic byway to Missoula, KOA. And that will be another episode. Again, thank you for watching. Stay safe. Toodles.